Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Beach FM, Kristy McGregor joins us now, and she is, well, a fascinating lady with a fascinating project on her hands. Well, I imagine several projects. This may be a side project, but it's a beauty. It really appeals to me. The Shephardess magazine. Kristy, good morning, and welcome to you.
Thank you. Morning.
Where did this idea come from?
I guess, so I moved to New Zealand at the start of 2014 and ended up on a farm in the Horowhenua. And I guess, just saw that there was an opportunity to connect people in rural communities and a publication that was a quality publication about rural life that wasn't the sort of technical farming publications that, you know, are in abundance at the moment. If you're a rural delivery, you get a lot of, you get a lot of papers in your letterbox, but often it's about cows and grass and, those sorts of things. And not everyone that lives on a farm or that lives in rural New Zealand is interested in those things. So this is about the people.
That's exactly right, and that's what really appeals to me. Now, when you say you moved to the Horowhenua, I believe that you were living in a relatively remote part of a rather large island.
Western Queensland. So I was on the eastern side, but as far as you can go west, really. So on the border with South Australia and New South Wales for a few years. Yeah, out back. And then I lived in a place called Longreach, which is where I happened to meet my partner who's Kiwi. And so it was a bit of a change to move from there to over here.
Oh, well, welcome. Lovely to hear you. By the way, Longreach is where Qantas started, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So, and you're quite a long way. I believe it's something like an 8-hour drive to a reasonable sized settlement from where you were in Western Queensland.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, for a while I lived on a cattle station, which is 2.2 million acres.
Good grief.
So, yeah, it was 8 hours drive to town or to any kind of supermarket sort of thing. So it was fairly isolated. So it was interesting coming here because obviously we don't have the same isolation, especially not down, in Horowhenua area. And, even other parts of New Zealand, when it's isolated, it's not that geographically isolated. But that's not to say that there isn't the sort of isolation from a social sense, sometimes. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, social isolation is a very, very real issue right around not only this country but many others. Did you learn something from Western Queensland of the importance of that human contact?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of, I guess, been the real driver for me through different projects that I've been involved in or started over the last, kind of 10 years. But, yeah, I think bringing people together and what can happen when you do bring people together. And I guess that's I didn't set out to go and become a publisher of a magazine because I wanted to publish a magazine or because I, worked in media or anything. I don't have that background at all. It comes from a place of wanting to connect people and the magazine being a vehicle to do that.
Did you have a particular model that you followed that maybe you had observed in Australia?
Yeah. So I'm very admiring of a woman who's become a friend now, Claire Dunn, who started a magazine in Australia called Grazie Her. And that's all about
Grazie Her.
Yeah.
H-E-R. Isn't that clever?
Yeah, that's right. So she started that. It's been going for 5 years now, and that's all about celebrating women in the agricultural industry and in rural Australia, and that's had huge success in Australia. So that's kind of been an inspiration, really, in terms of establishing Shephardess.
Well, here we are. When did this idea become a reality?
So we got a Instagram page up and running early last year, so 2019, and then the rubber really hit the road at the end of last year. It was like, right, we're going to do this a printed magazine, which, as you'll know, is a fair investment to do a big print run and things. And then the first edition came out in March. It came out the weekend before, or the weekend that Jacinda announced the sort of lockdown restrictions. I was actually over in Australia. We just for the weekend. The magazines all arrived on, I think it was a Thursday, and I was over in Australia for literally like 3 nights, and back out west, and then while that happened, the quarantine things came in, so we had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and we got home and then we went to lockdown. And meanwhile, I had all these magazines here at the house that I had to, obviously, wanted to get out there. So it was a bit of a, unexpected start to launching a magazine, not quite how you plan it.
I'm sure. And in the meantime, you're getting this news about Bauer, which are ditching all of the other quality printed titles, such as North and South, which I think you've got some similarity to, by the way. But those magazines which have high editorial values and spend some time in layout and have very nice photographs as well, those magazines seem to be falling by the wayside. Did you ever think, what on earth am I doing?
Yeah, I guess, when the sort of volatility that we've had over the last 2 months, that's, it's sort of an interesting time to go into something. But I guess I sort of had committed to it before that happened, so it was kind of it was happening, and it was just like we just have to make the most of it. And I think there's a lot of in the magazine sector, certainly from what I'm seeing. I've joined the Magazine Publishers Association, and I get a lot of support from my printer, and it just has recently been picked up by Avato, and now the magazine is stocked in New Wells and Pack and Save across the North Island, Whitcoulls Paper Plus nationally. So that's just with this edition, so just this week that's happened. But I feel like there's a lot of support out there, and for a small new publisher, and I feel like a lot of faith in, that the industry still has a lot going for it. So it feels like joining a very supportive community.
Now, okay, obviously there are the production issues that you've got, because, as you say, it's by no means cheap putting out print media these days. But what about before that? Is this a laptop on the kitchen table, or have you got people who are helping you in professional advice?
Well, funny you ask. It's absolutely been sort of, working from home, or obviously as we all have over lockdown, with, a laptop and kids underfoot, which didn't end so well. Chocolate milk spilled all over the laptop over here. Oh, no. Yeah, thank goodness we're in good insurance. So I'm just got set up a better office space in the house. But no, I think, at the start you draw on, friends, family that, are happy to help. And so that certainly was the case. And, my mother-in-law contributed recipes, and my sister-in-law did styling for us, and a friend does a, lovely things page. But in addition to that, I've got a wonderful team of freelancers all over the country. They're professional photographers, professional writers, been doing it a long time, and really experts at their craft. And our designer, who is based in the Horowhenua, Lemon Face Design, Sarah Jane Shine. There's a huge team of people. I'm just really the coordinator, and they're out there doing their thing, and that's what makes it so beautiful. So, yeah.
Well, I must say, you've got a circle of friends who are very, very talented. You should all be very proud of this production. How's it going? Dare I ask about the sales? Is it a goer or not?
I'm blown away by the response to it. It's been very encouraging. Really quickly building a large subscriber base, which is great. People can subscribe directly. Obviously, people can go into farmlands or to, the supermarkets now, or newsagents or bookstores, and get it. And that's been going really well too, and growing. So, it's really encouraging that there is an appetite to support local writing, local journalism and publishing. Yeah.
And also going the extra mile, because this is a quality publication. I'm sure it could have been done cheaper, but you obviously made a decision to really go for it and go for something that you're proud of, and I suspect is going to last on shelves for quite some time.
Hopefully. I mean, hopefully it's something that sits on the coffee table and, you know, people will come back to it. I know, like, there's a magazine in Australia called Outback, and, you know, in that case they become collector's items, and, you know,
Right.
they're going back years, and people are like, oh, where do I get that first coffee? But so I'm not, you know, don't hold that hope. But I think that, you know, it's something that, you know, people have said, oh, where's your digital version? But it's deliberately not a digital version, and it won't, at this stage, it won't ever be, because it's something about picking it up physically and flicking the pages and having it there, whether it's on your coffee table or whether it's, you know, in the cow shed or whatever, when you need a break for 5 minutes. But there's something special about that. And, yeah, you're right. It definitely, you know, we could have produced a magazine that, you know, told those stories and was, you know, cost half the cost for a print run than what it does, but it wouldn't have that same value. And
No.
so, yeah, I've invested in good quality paper and, you know, those kind of special things, yeah.
Oh, go you good thing, as they say in Australia. I think it's fantastic. Congratulations, Kristy. I think it's absolutely wonderful. And great that you're roping in your family there and your friends and those very talented people helping to put Shephardess together. It's just terrific. We're very proud and lovely to talk to you here on Beach FM. Kristy McGregor, thank you so much for your kind company.
Thank you, John.
106.3 Beach FM.